All right, let's go. Number 9, NGC 4038, NGC 4039, the Antennae Galaxies. At first glance, it looks like damage. Two galaxies ripped open, stars flung outward, like shrapnel, tidal arms, stretching hundreds of thousands of light years. A cosmic accident. But nothing here is random. Gravity is reshaping everything. The Antennae Galaxies are colliding. Slowly, silently, inevitably. Each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars. You might imagine chaos, explosions everywhere, stars smashing together like sparks. But that never happens. Almost never. The distances between stars are enormous. If the sun were a grain of sand, the nearest star would be kilometers away. Collisions between stars are rare, extremely rare. Instead, gravity does something stranger. It stretches galaxies, pulls them, warps their structure, distorts their shape, like soft clay. In invisible hands, gas clouds compress, pressure increases, shock waves ripple, and suddenly, new stars ignite. Thousands, millions, a burst of creation, triggered by destruction. This collision does not erase the galaxies, it transforms them. Over hundreds of millions of years, their spiral shapes unravel, their arms dissolve, their identities blur. Two systems, becoming one. Not instantly, but inevitably. The antennae show us something unexpected. Galactic collisions do not mean annihilation. They mean evolution, transformation, on impossible scales. Structure emerging from disruption, order born from chaos. But this is only the beginning, because some galaxies do more than survive. They change the rules of what survival means. Number 8, ARP 273. Two spirals approach each other. One larger, one smaller, a gravitational imbalance. The larger galaxy doesn't just collide, it reshapes its partner. ARP 273 looks almost delicate, a distorted spiral with an extended arm, reaching outward like a question. But this elegance comes from violence. Tidal forces are stretching the smaller galaxy, pulling stars out of their original paths. Orbital stability begins to fail. The galaxy starts to unwind. Collisions between galaxies rarely happen all at once. They begin subtly, a slight gravitational tug, a shift in stellar trajectories. Gas clouds drift into new densities. Slow distortions accumulate. Then suddenly, structure begins to deform. In ARP 273, the smaller galaxy passes close enough to disturb the equilibrium. Gravity amplifies asymmetry. One arm stretches farther. The disk warps. Spiral symmetry breaks, not destroyed, altered. Billions of stars continue orbiting. But not as before. Their paths now encode the history of the encounter. Every orbit contains memory of motion, of influence, of interaction. What we see is not damage, it is adaptation. Galaxies respond to external forces. They reorganize, rebalance, reconfigure. Survival does not mean remaining unchanged. It means remaining coherent. ARP 273 shows us that collisions create diversity. New shapes, new distributions, new dynamics. Galaxies are not static objects. They are processes, continuous processes. But sometimes, distortion becomes more dramatic. Tails grow longer. Motion becomes faster. The evidence of collision becomes impossible to ignore. Number 7, NGC 4676, the Mice Galaxies. Two galaxies, caught mid-impact, frozen in motion, long stellar tails, stretching behind them, like footprints through space-time. NGC 4676 are called the mice, because gravity pulls out their tails, Huschenbarg, of light years long. Visible evidence of invisible forces. These galaxies already passed through each other once. Not the final collision, just the first encounter. A gravitational flyby, close enough to rearrange everything. Their shapes are no longer stable. Their disks are no longer balanced. Stars continue moving. But now, their paths are different. When galaxies pass close, tidal forces amplify. Stars nearer the interaction feel stronger gravity. Stars farther away feel less. This difference stretches the galaxy. Material begins to stream outward, not randomly, along precise gravitational gradients. The result? Tidal tails, long arcs of displaced stars, still bound, still moving, still part of the system. Nothing explodes, nothing collapses instantly. Instead, motion redistributes. Angular momentum flows outward. Structure loosens, but coherence remains. The galaxies survive the first passage. They keep orbiting each other, pulled back again for another encounter, and another. Each pass removes more symmetry. Each pass moves them closer to merging. What we see here is a galaxy in transition, not spiral anymore, not elliptical yet, a temporary form, a structure that only exists during collision. A reminder that galaxies are not fixed shapes, they are moments within longer stories. The mice reveal that survival can include losing your original form. Identity becomes fluid, structure becomes negotiable, gravity writes new geometry, but some collisions go further, much further, until the original galaxies disappear completely, yet something new still survives. Number 6. NGC 7252 Atoms for Peace Galaxy. At first, it looks calm, smooth, almost peaceful, an elliptical glow, floating in darkness, no spiral arms, no obvious damage, nothing suggests violence. But this galaxy is the aftermath of catastrophe. NGC 7252 is what remains, after two spiral galaxies, fully merged. Not collided once, merged completely, billions of stars, once organized into elegant spirals, now redistributed into a single structure, a new identity formed from destruction. The original galaxies are gone, yet something survives. Astronomers call it the Atoms for Peace Galaxy, because its appearance is strangely ordered. After chaos comes symmetry. After distortion comes equilibrium. Gravity rebuilds structure. During the merger, stellar orbits become randomized. Rotational motion breaks down. Spiral patterns dissolve. Energy redistributes through gravitational interaction. The system settles into a smoother shape, an elliptical galaxy, stable, balanced, coherent again. But the past is still visible. Faint tidal streams surround the galaxy, ghostly loops of displaced stars, evidence of previous forms, echoes of the collision. The memory never disappears completely. New star clusters continue forming, dense pockets of compressed gas, triggered by the original collision, even long after the merger ends. Creation continues. NGC 7252 reveals something profound. Galaxies do not simply survive collisions, they reinvent themselves. Identity is not fixed, structure is negotiable. Even large-scale order can emerge from extreme disruption. What appears peaceful may hide violent origins. What appears stable may be recently transformed. Galactic survival is not preservation, it is adaptation. But sometimes, collisions produce stranger consequences. Material can be stripped away. Gas can be separated from stars. Even invisible matter can reveal itself. And when that happens, we begin to learn what galaxies are truly made of. Number 5. NGC 2623. At first, it looks compact, dense, almost compressed. A bright core, wrapped in faint tidal tails. NGC 2623 is what happens. when a collision nears completion. Two spiral galaxies already merged. But the system is still settling, still redistributing motion, still searching for equilibrium. Gravity does not stop. When the galaxies touch, it continues working, rearranging orbits, redistributing energy, smoothing irregularities. Over hundreds of millions of years, structure evolves. Long after impact, long tidal tails stretch far beyond the core. Stars pulled outward during earlier encounters. Evidence of violent interaction. Yet the central region remains coherent, a single luminous body, stable enough to survive. Gas clouds were compressed during the merger, triggering intense star formation. A starburst galaxy, thousands of new stars, forming simultaneously, regions glowing brighter than entire spiral arms. Creation, born from disruption. The original galaxies no longer exist, but their material does. Reorganized, recombined, rebalanced. Identity changes, matter remains. NGC 2623 demonstrates something critical. Galactic collisions do not waste matter. They recycle it. Stars migrate. Gas collapses. New generations ignite. Structure transforms without disappearing. Over time, the system will relax further. Orbits will stabilize. Tidal tails will fade into the background. The galaxy will appear calm, as if the collision never happened. But the internal dynamics will always carry the memory, encoded in motion, hidden in distribution. Survival does not mean returning to the past. It means continuing forward in a new form. But some collisions do something even stranger. They separate components that were once inseparable. Stars move one way, gas another, and something invisible moves differently still, revealing a deeper layer of reality. Number 4. The Taffy Galaxies, UGC 12914, UGC 12915. Two galaxies pass through each other, not slowly, directly, a head-on collision. Stars barely noticed. They kept moving, almost unaffected, but gas clouds did not. They slammed together. At hundreds of kilometers per second, shock waves exploded outward. Magnetic fields stretched between galaxies. A bridge of matter formed, thin, chaotic, thread-like. Astronomers called it the Taffy Bridge, because the material looks pulled apart, like cosmic candy, stretched between two hands. Stars pass through each other, like ghosts. Distances are too vast for frequent stellar collisions, but gas is different. Gas clouds are enormous, diffuse, yet massive. When they collide, they compress violently. Energy dissipates. Motion slows. Material sticks, forms, structures between galaxies. A shared region, a hybrid environment, neither galaxy fully separate anymore. Radio observations revealed something unusual. Strong synchrotron radiation, charged particles, spiraling along magnetic fields. Evidence of turbulence. Evidence of extreme interaction. Invisible forces become visible. Magnetism stretches across intergalactic space. The galaxies survive, but they remain connected, linked by a bridge of matter, a reminder of the encounter, a structure that should not exist without collision. The Taffy Galaxies show us that collisions can create new structures between galaxies, not just inside them. Material can be displaced far beyond original boundaries. Galaxies become extended systems, connected systems, dynamic systems. Survival here means carrying the imprint of impact, a visible scar across intergalactic space, a filament stretching between worlds. But sometimes collisions reveal something deeper, something invisible, something that barely interacts at all, something that passes through collisions, almost unaffected, and yet controls the outcome. Number 3. NGC 6240. At first, it looks chaotic, distorted, unstable, a galaxy without symmetry, without calm structure. NGC 6240, is not just a collision, it is a system, still fighting for balance. Two galactic cores still exist. Two centers still active. Two supermassive black holes orbiting each other. They have not merged yet, but they will. Gravity guarantees it. Their separation continues shrinking, slowly, relentlessly, inevitably. Each black hole contains a million of solar masses, surrounded by stars, surrounded by gas, surrounded by radiation. As the galaxies merged, their central black holes were carried inward, toward each other, toward a final encounter. The environment became turbulent. Gas clouds compressed. Temperatures increased. X-ray radiation intensified. The galaxy began glowing in high-energy light, invisible to human eyes, visible to instruments, evidence of extreme physics. Two gravitational giants, distorting spacetime inside one galaxy. Orbital energy slowly dissipates through gravitational interaction, through dynamical friction, through energy transfer to surrounding stars. The black holes lose momentum. They spiral inward. Eventually, they will collide, releasing enormous energy as gravitational waves, ripples in spacetime, traveling across the universe, detectable billions of years later. A cosmic signal of merger completion, NGC 6240, reveals that survival does not mean simplicity. Galaxies can contain multiple cores, multiple centers of gravity, multiple histories, overlapping. Identity becomes layered, complex, composite. Even the most powerful structures can coexist temporarily. Two black holes, one galaxy, a transitional state between separate pasts and unified future. Collisions do not just rearrange stars, they rearrange gravity itself. They reorganize the deepest architecture of cosmic structure. But some collisions expose something even more unsettling. Matter that behaves differently. Mass that does not slow down. Something invisible, passing through the wreckage, almost untouched. Something that dominates without being seen. Number 2. The bullet cluster, 1E0657-56. Two galaxy clusters have already collided. Not individual galaxies, entire clusters, each containing thousands of galaxies, trillions of stars, enormous gas clouds, and something else, something invisible. The bullet cluster is not just a collision. It is evidence, direct evidence, that most of the universe cannot be seen. When the clusters collided, three components behaved differently. Galaxies passed through, almost unaffected. Distances between stars are too vast for frequent collisions. The galaxies survived. Hot gas clouds did not survive so easily. They slammed together, compressed violently, heated to extreme temperatures, emitting intense X-rays. Visible shock fronts formed in space. A cosmic pressure wave, clear evidence of impact. But the most massive component did something unexpected. It did not slow down. It did not collide. It passed through, almost unaffected. Gravitational lensing revealed the truth. Most of the mass was not located where the gas was. The majority of gravity had moved ahead, separated from visible matter. This invisible mass does not interact with light, does not collide easily, does not radiate energy, yet dominates gravitational behavior. Dark matter. The bullet cluster gave us one of the clearest confirmations that dark matter exists, because during the collision, mass and visible matter separated. We could see the gas, we could see the galaxies, but the strongest gravity came from somewhere else. Something passed through the collision without friction, without resistance, without interaction, and yet it controlled the outcome. Galactic survival is not just about stars, not just about gas. It is about invisible structure, hidden architecture, guiding motion, determining evolution. Collisions reveal what galaxies are truly made of. Only a small fraction is visible. Most of reality is hidden. But one collision matters more than all others, because it involves our own galaxy, a future event already set in motion, unavoidable, inevitable, closer than it feels. Number 1. The Milky Way and Andromeda collision. This one is personal. The Milky Way is already moving, and so is Andromeda. Two massive spiral galaxies approaching each other at over 100 kilometers per second, distance shrinking every second, every minute, every year, right now. They are 2.5 million light years apart. Cosmically speaking, that is close. Very close. Gravitational attraction is pulling them together. Nothing can stop it. The collision will happen in about 4 to 5 billion years. At first, nothing dramatic will be visible. Andromeda will slowly grow larger in the sky, brighter, more detailed, a faint spiral structure becoming unmistakable. Night after night, the sky will change. The universe will look different. Then tidal forces begin. Outer stars feel gravitational pull from both galaxies. Orbits shift, trajectories bend, the spiral arms begin to distort. Streams of stars stretch across space. The sky fills with new constellations, brighter ones, stranger ones, moving ones. Despite the scale, stellar collisions remain unlikely. Stars are far apart, distances protect them, but planetary systems may still be disturbed. Gravitational shifts can alter orbital stability. Long-term trajectories become unpredictable. Some stars may be ejected, some captured, some relocated within the merged galaxy. Over billions of years, multiple passes occur. Each encounter removes more structure. Spiral arms unravel. Angular momentum redistributes. Two galaxies slowly lose their original identity. Eventually, a single galaxy forms, likely elliptical, larger, more massive, a new system, sometimes called Milkomeda, a name for something inevitable. The night sky from Earth will look completely different if Earth still exists, if the sun still shines. If observers remain, this collision will not destroy the galaxy, it will transform it. Stars will survive, planets may survive, structure will survive, but the familiar will disappear. Galaxies are not permanent shapes. They are temporary arrangements, moments, within longer processes. Even entire galaxies are transitional. Survival does not mean staying the same, it means continuing in a different form. The universe does not preserve structures, it preserves motion, it preserves interaction, it preserves transformation. Nothing stays still, not even galaxies, not even space-time, and the future is already moving toward us. Galactic collisions feel catastrophic, but they are creative. They build larger structures, trigger new stars, reveal hidden physics, reshape cosmic architecture. The universe evolves through interaction, through instability, through transformation. Even the largest structures are temporary, and perhaps change is the most stable thing in the cosmos.